Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Yesterday, I did a story about the massive drop in membership in the SNP, and I suggested that because 78,000 odd votes had been given out, when there's only a membership of 72,000, that it would probably result in a court case. Whoever lost would undoubtedly take the winner to court and try and get the result overturned on the grounds that it couldn't possibly be accurate. Well, how very prescient I was. It's only one day later. I was thinking the court case would be after the result. But here we are. It's the very next day. And Regan is asking her team to go to court to get the leadership contest paused or stopped. She's saying it's deeply unfair and that Humza Yousaf is being aided by the party machinery and is therefore not a free and open election. And she's probably quite right, if I'd be honest with you. But we will have a look at this story. But how amazing that I sort of said it will end up in a court case. And the very next day, it ends up with a potential court case, shall we say. So let's have a look at this story and see what is going on. And not a mention of Peter Murrell. Amazing. Here we go. Right, this was in the Herald. Now, I do think actually she does have a case. I think up until now, Yousaf was sort of the establishment choice. He was the one that was being pushed by all the senior members and the executive of the party, and they were sort of saying to people, no, this is the one we really need. He's the continuation. Well, I think now the continuation is not what people want. Sturgeon has gone. I don't want to say his name, but I have to. Murrell has gone. And so there is nothing now to continue. I think that push from Murrell because he was the Padawan to Darth Sturgeon, that action now, that push is going to sort of ease. I've heard from people on various forums, and I've had one person sort of mention it to me in a message, that they believe, and this person is someone in a position that sort of, I can't say who this person is for obvious reasons. Let me just say that they've given me reason to believe that they are bona fide. That's all I'm going to say. And they say that actually Humza Yousaf possibly does not have the numbers required to become leader. Which will immediately mean he'll be pulling it out and playing the card, and we all know what card I mean. But that's where it is. That's what I've been told, that he does not have the numbers, and so it looks likely that it's going to be Kate Forbes. So this is being pushed by Regan. Now I've got a feeling that she's doing this, wants to do this court action and pause the contest because of Humza Yousaf. I think what she's doing is she's angling to play a sort of stalking horse role, try and nobble Humza Yousaf so that Kate Forbes definitely gets in the hope that Kate will be kind to her and invite her back for a cabinet position. That's what I'm reading it as. However, we'll go in. Regan's campaign is speaking to lawyers about whether to obtain an interdict to pause the SNP leadership contest, the Herald can reveal. The former Community Safety Minister's camp is concerned how the race is being conducted and believes the party has given rival candidate Humza Yousaf an advantage. We have been speaking with our legal team and we are looking at all options. We are scoping out possibilities. All scenarios are being planned for, said a senior source when asked if the Regan campaign would be applying for a court interdict to pause the race. And I think undoubtedly that they do have a case. But not necessarily because of any particular thing. I just think in the round, if you look at it in the round, there's so many things going on. Certainly, Humza Yousaf was, until this morning, being pushed by the executive. Whether that continues now is far from clear. With Murrell gone and with Sturgeon lost, she's lost that power now. She's basically toothless. Where before she would push and something, and she'd give you the look and people would just obey because she was the grand leaderine. Well, the wee goblin of Govan no longer has that power. So I think possibly a few leashes have been undone and the dogs are running wild. Which means it could be anything. It could be open. But as I say, my source says that Humza Yousaf does not have the numbers anymore. And I think that given what happened today, that's likely to even get worse for him. So I think he's gone out of the race. It looks like it's going to be a shoe-in for Kate Forbes. But obviously, with Ash taking this action, it will give more time for Kate Forbes to get the necessary sort of momentum, if you will, to get over the line. I think that's what's happening, and I think she's doing it deliberately, as I say, so that she can basically kiss ass her way into a senior cabinet position. Anyway, a statement came just hours after First Minister Nicola Sturgeon's closest aide Liz Lloyd revealed she would be exiting government when Miss Sturgeon steps down. Liz Aid was another one of those go-getters, go-doers, one of the Rottweilers of Sturgeon, but she will be going as well. Mr. Foote, of course, Murray Foote last night resigned. He did so out of conviction that he'd been lied to and felt at that moment, having taken the lies he was told, he then spread those lies. And I do believe, unknowingly, I don't believe, given that he was a professional journalist for many years standing, I don't believe that Murray Foote was involved with the lies themselves. I believe he took those lies at face value and just sort of promulgated them, posted them out there and told people, unbeknownst that they were lies at the time. As soon as he found that out, of course, he then did the honourable thing and he resigned. So I wish him well. But now Liz Lloyd is going, another bites the dust, and obviously Murrell's gone. So it's there's a whole team at the top there. They're all running to the hills. They're all leaving the sinking ship like rats. Anyway. Talked about a potential legal action by Regan's campaign come after her team and that of fellow leadership candidate Finance Secretary Kate Forbes questioned the integrity of the race to succeed Nicola Sturgeon as SNP leader and First Minister. Meanwhile, the SNP's longest serving MP, Pete Wishart, called for an inquiry into the election once it was over. You don't get more loyal than me, he said, but when this leadership contest is concluded, we need the broadest possible inquiry into some of these issues around the mess that has been so unnecessarily self-inflicted. Concerns by candidates over how the race was being run deepened this week when it emerged Miss Lloyd was involved in Mr Yousaf's bid for top jobs. So we know Murrell was, and now we're seeing that Liz Lloyd, who's supposed to be, again, neutral observer in this, was actually pushing this and acting for the preferred candidate for her protege, if you will. And asked what reasons there could be to pause the race, the insider pointed to Miss Lloyd helping Health Secretary Mr Yousaf, the First Minister, telling Mr Yousaf that she was to step down before informing his prospective rivals, and the use by an SNP MSP of a party email address to campaign for Mr Yousaf. Miss Regan's team yesterday brought up the concerns over Miss Lloyd's involvement in the contest with the head of the Civil Service in Scotland, Permanent Secretary John Paul Marks, because obviously she's a civil servant, she's supposed to be politically neutral. And hours after this meeting, Miss Lloyd announced she would be stepping down from her role when Miss Sturgeon left office. She said that that had been her intention since Miss Sturgeon announced her resignation. Yeah, that sounds like a lie, but hey, who knows? We don't know how long Liz has... Long Liz? Sorry, as soon as I saw Long Liz, my mind went straight to Jack the Ripper. But anyway, we don't know how long Liz has been involved. The Regan team insider said it just adds to the pattern of behaviour at SNPHQ, which we have difficulty trusting. When you cannot trust your own party machine. Now, it's likely that Kate Forbes is going to win this election now. And Kate Forbes is saying, agreeing with Ash Regan, that she cannot trust her own party machine. Now, that is very telling. Now, I would presume then, if Kate Forbes wins, that she will expect everyone in there to resign and to reform the whole sort of mechanism that runs that party from inside. Because obviously, if she cannot trust the people who are supposedly working for her benefit, then she's got no chance of working towards anything good in Scotland. So, you know, it is an absolute implosion of backbiting and of mistrust within the senior echelon. So it is an absolute implosion of backbiting, infighting and mistrust in the upper echelons of this party. It's absolutely self-destructing. It is, well, it's wonderful to watch, but we wonder how far down it will go. Will it go down to the grassroots? Already, we know 32,000 people have left. As this goes on, I think more and more will become disillusioned with the party and will leave. And that's just fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to finish there and come up. But it is good to see. Liz, obviously, Liz is going now. Murray went. Murrell's gone. Sturgeon's gone. If Humza Yousaf does not win this election, and it looks increasingly likely that he will not, he's done. He won't be a minister anymore. So he may well resign from government because he's one of those that cannot handle rejection. So yeah, it could be another one gone. But even so, even with all the inner workings of the party all now fighting amongst themselves, picking sides, it's become very internecine. Anyway, I shall finish and come up and we'll round off the video. So as I say, it truly is rats leaving a sinking ship. In this case, the SS Sturgeon is going down from the rear, which is not makes a change because normally she goes down at the front. But with all of them going now, all the senior lot going, it's time for a change. Hopefully, when what looks increasingly like Kate Forbes takes over, she will be able to mould it to something more like a political party and less like organised crime organisation, because they are just destroying everything. Everything they have done has been utterly destroyed. And I think also that Kate will also get rid of the Greens. She will rule by a minority government. I don't think she will herald the Greens. She knows, as Finance Secretary, for example, that this the bottle deposit return scheme is, dead in the water. It's never going to work. It's just open to fraudulent misuse, and she knows that, so that'll be gone. But if you get rid of that, then the Greens will withdraw support. They've both the ladies have said that they're not going to push forward with the gender reform bill, because on Ash's case, it's a matter of her beliefs and her honour, because of obviously she's resigned over the matter in the first place. And of course with Kate Forbes, it's a political decision, but based on a religious perspective, which she says that she's not going to allow her religion to reign her political thing, but it's going to, and you are going to end up with a school marm for First Minister, which would be very, very weird. You're going to have a very young First Minister, but will she lack perhaps the experience? Who knows? I think over the next sort of 2 years till the next election, or it's going to be a very weird Scotland. You're not having Sturgeon controlling everything, and you're going to have all the establishment slowly being dismantled because nobody will be able to trust them. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to finish there and round off. So, thank you very much for watching the video. If you like what you've seen here, do hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell so you don't miss anything. Leave a like. Very much leave a like, because it also helps the video get out there, with this being sort of down hidden because of the political nature and election time. And share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, keep watching these buggers, because they'll get away with anything if you don't. And goodbye.